Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a Bronco Raptor. We've installed a 40-inch curved Pro Series light bar on the windshield. So let's go ahead and remove these covers, and that's going to be an accessory ready plate. So there's a button on top. You press it and it comes off. We're going to be able to remove these two nuts, slide the bracket underneath it, and reinstall it the same way. And these are number 10. So let's go ahead and grab them out. So in the M&R kit, you do get two brackets, driver side bracket and a passenger. We're gonna go ahead and install the driver side first. What we do, we slide this over the studs that were here previously. We're gonna go ahead and reuse this plate on top, and we'll reinstall these nuts. Go ahead and tighten this. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the passenger side. Take the two nuts off, put the bracket, put the nut on. There's two ways of running your wiring. The first way is to get the wiring from the light bar and run it down the windshield into the engine compartment to the auxiliary switches, or you can actually drill a hole through the plastic piece as well as the metal to go through underneath the visor, under all the trims. Because going through is a lot cleaner, we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna show you how I drilled one hole. There you go. I went all the way through it, and you can see it. So you have to trim the plastic piece on top and go all the way through to pass the wire. So now we can actually install the light bar between the tabs and pass the wire through the top piece. Just to summarize, on the driver's side, we have the M&R bracket, the plastic plate, as well as the end cap. On the passenger side, we have the same thing, but we have to drill a hole through it, so that way we can pass through the wire from the top to the bottom and run it down the side. We're gonna pass the light bar wire through the visor cap, because when we drill through the top plate and feed the wire through, we're gonna have to route it going down. Let's go ahead and remove the visor. I'm gonna go ahead and use a pick to get the top plate off. Just pick all the corners. You can use a flathead screwdriver. There we go. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt. It's a 7mm. So now that we remove the bolt, we can take this out. There's a hook here, so you're gonna have to pull it towards you. You could actually unclip it if you wanted to, and set it to the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and unclip the top panel. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and mount the light bar. The light bars have two bolts holding it on each end. So when you finish with one side, have somebody hold the light bar so that way you can run on the other side and tighten it. So now we're on the driver's side, just doing the final tie downs of the light bar. Now that we're all finished up with the driver's side, I'm gonna go ahead and put the factory caps back on, and then we'll still work on passing the wire through on the passenger side. Now we're gonna pass through the wire from the light bar through the hole that we drilled earlier. So the next step, now that you can see the wires here from the hole that we pre-drilled, now we have to actually feed it through and go on the side, and for it to come out on this side. If you peel on the side, you can see a hole, and we're just going to push a wire through it, and I'm going to use some needle nose pliers on the other side to get it out. Alright, here it is. I see the wire, so I'm going to grab it with my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to pull it through. Alright, so now I'm going to run this wire down and into the engine bay. So I'm just going to follow the trim. Alright, so now that we have our wire here, we're going to go ahead and thread it underneath this grommet into the fender. So there's not a lot of space here, but if you go inside, you can just feeding the wire into the fender. Now that we have the light bar wire inside the engine bay, we're going to go across. We have just enough wire to connect this to the auxiliary switches. So last thing I want to do is we made a little cutout for the end cap. So that's going to have the indentation for the wire, and it's going to lock in place, so you get to reuse the end cap. The light bar wire comes with 3 wires. You have the red wire, which is the positive for the white light. You have the white wire, which is the positive for the Amber DRL, and then you have the black wire, which is a ground. So let's go ahead and connect it to auxiliary switches. Each auxiliary switch is a different wire color. So the ones we're going to use today for the light bar, we're going to use switch number 2, which is going to be the green wire. There's a green wire with a brown stripe. So the power to the white light is going to be the red cable. We're going to connect that to the green wire. And then for the Amber DRL, that's going to be the yellow wire with an orange stripe in it. And that's going to connect to the white wire, which is the power for the DRL. So now we got the 2 power sources connected. Let's go ahead and connect a ground. We already have an eyelet on here. I'm going to use this bolt here for the ground. Disconnect it, thread it through the eyelet, and then re-tighten it. All right, so now that everything's wired up, let's go ahead and test it. That's a powerful white light. And we have the Amber DRL. Thank you guys for watching. I know you guys are going to absolutely love the product.